order and ask you to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome to everybody who has come to our June 10th special meeting for canvassing of the elections. I would remind you to silence your cell phones. The meeting documents are somewhere. I don't know. They're on the table. And if you are planning on speaking, if you would just sign in. So one, I would look for a motion to, wait, I think we're going to start with Ben, because it just says motion to certify the results. So I think we're just going to start, I think we should have, maybe we should have a motion to approve the agenda. That's not even on this sheet, so.
Make a motion to consider to approve the agenda. Benega.
We need a motion to approve the agenda. A second, please.
Second, Bender.
I have a motion and a second to approve the agenda. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oh, we have to do roll call, excuse me.
Benega.
Aye.
Bender.
Aye.
Karski.
Aye.
Heiberger.
Aye, motion passes unanimously. Next, we will have item number 1, which will be consider a motion to certify the results of the June 7, 2022 primary election canvass. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Ben Kite, Auditor's Office. So today we report to the County Commission on the June 7, 2022 primary election results for Minnehaha County. A total of 34,360 ballots were cast, representing approximately 27% of the total registered voters in Minnehaha County. The Auditor's Office has reviewed the results of each race and reconciled the canvass report presented to you today to the control reports from the election-ware system. As a result of this review and our reconciliation, I am confident that the results we are presenting to you today are accurate. The results do include some small adjustments that were from what was reported on election night. Those adjustments include the provisional ballots that were received and validated and included in the count, and the correction to an overvote in voting precinct 06 or VPO 6. Neither adjustment had any impact to the outcome of any races involved. So provisional ballots received were a total of 29. After the Auditor's Office review, it was determined that 18 of those were valid, with one being a blank ballot, for a total of 17 ballots to be included in the vote count. The adjustment to VPO 6 was needed because an overvote of Democratic ballots were created when poll workers provided 21 District 11 ballots to District 9 voters. An edit check within the total vote election software identified that only 8 Democratic voters were registered in District 11 at precinct VPO 6. This edit check prevented the Auditor's Office from reporting the results to the Secretary of State until a correction could be made. This issue was found by the Auditor's Office staff through their comparison of the poll books and the voter registration list after the vote count was completed and the ballots had been sealed on June 7th. Through this investigation, it was determined that no party affiliation or independent voters in District 9 were given a Democratic ballot to District 11. The Secretary of State's office was notified about the issue. After consultation with the State's Attorney's Office, it was determined that a court order would be needed to open the ballot boxes for VPO 6, and the Auditor's Office would need to reconvene the resolution board to recreate the District 9 non-political ballots. These actions occurred on June 8th. The ballots cast by the District 9 voters should have been for a non-political ballot voting only on Amendment C question. The resolution board recreated those ballots as they were originally cast. The result of these recreated ballots had no impact on the results of any race. It should also be noted that one correct Democratic ballot was provided to a District 11 voter in VPO 6 for a total of 22 Democratic ballots cast in this precinct. The resolution board randomly selected one Democratic ballot chosen to be used in District 11 race from the 22 cast Democratic ballots, the remainder being recreated on a non-political ballot for District 9. The two adjustments noted above had no impact on the outcome of any races. So I'd like to also speak to the issue of poll workers who inadvertently provided incorrect ballots to voters on June 7th. So after the legislative redistricting that occurred at the end of 2021, Minnehaha County ended up with 19 precincts with more than one legislative district versus the precincts that we had prior to the redistricting. This created a situation where more than one ballot style is needed at those precincts. During the election worker training, we specifically addressed this and spent time pointing out the differences in ballots and the importance of providing the voters the correct ballot. Unfortunately, there were some worker errors that morning on June 7th. When we were notified of the issue on Election Day, we contacted the polls to make them aware of the problem. In most cases, the issues were limited to early voters. We understand the importance of every vote, and we feel badly that even one voter may have been given the incorrect ballot. We've identified possible changes for training and processes for the next election to mitigate this issue from repeating itself. So the process for the canvassing board calls for them to open the returns from each of the precincts, which are found in each poll book. So we have available to you the registration and poll books from each of the precincts if you so choose to review them.
So I discussed this with Commissioner Bender Commissioner Benega, and him and I are going to each pull a book, and we are going to compare a couple of names. And so they will be chosen at random. So if you
Okay.
don't mind, I'm going to get up and go grab a couple books and let Commissioner Benega grab one. So there's a packet, and we'll just pull a random sheet out of the packet and compare the number of the voter to make sure that they are in the, got a poll book. I'm just going to pick a random number out of here and make sure that the poll number, I'm going to pick voter number 508. I will go in here and make sure that number 508 is the same person that's on my sheet. And are these in alphabetical order? I think
Yes,
is
so
how
you would
they
have
are.
to look at the name, find that, and hopefully find that number beside that name.
The first one I checked was correct. I'm going to check one more out of this book.
I have voter 251, and that is in District 4-10, and that is also correct. Do I really? Second one I've chosen is 350, and I'll double check on that one.
And I have chosen voter number 233, and in my poll book, this is an accurate vote, and actually, both of them that I picked were nonpartisan voters. I've done two out of my book. Do you think we should pull another book, Commissioner Benega?
It's up to you.
I'll pull one more book and look at one more book.
This one is also correct.
precinct 2-1 here.
Precinct VP 05.
I've checked it, in mine 2-1, number 450 is correct. Try the first one. And my voter number 1 in this book is also correct.
I have voter 425. And that one is correct. He wants to do 2,
I did too.
and I will choose 375. And that one is correct.
Okay. So,
Okay.
Mr. Auditor?
So, the next step in the process is that the Canvas Board should satisfy itself that the returns are genuine and not forged. So hopefully through that exercise of reviewing the poll books and the registration list, our word that we have reconciled the Canvas report to the control reports through the election system. We've reconciled those to what is reported to the Secretary of State. We've reconciled them to what we also post on the website. I hope that you would feel that the reports are genuine and not forged. And then the third step would ask you to tabulate the returns from the precincts and the certification of the provisional ballot count. So you have before you the Canvas report. This includes the provisional ballots that we received and validated that they should be included. You can find the results for each of the races listed on this report. And if you are satisfied, we would ask you then to declare the result, and then we would have an abstract that we'd ask you to sign.
And we do have those reports, and I have reviewed what I have looked at. That they are totaled
Yep.
and available to us, and that they have been verified with the state.
We're good.
Okay, then I would look for a motion, correct? Are we at that point? Yep, we're looking for a motion to consider a certification of the results of the June 7th, 2022 primary election canvass. Need a motion?
I would make that motion, Benninga.
Second, Karski.
So I have a motion and a second. Roll call vote, please.
Benega.
Aye.
Karski.
Aye.
Bender. Bender.
Sorry, I was on mute. Aye.
Heiberger.
Aye, motion passes unanimously. Thanks, Ben. Next, we have an opportunity for public comment. Is there anyone here that would like to speak on something that is not on today's agenda? Do you want to speak in the general one, or do you want to speak in this canvassing one? We're having another meeting immediately after this one. Yep, why don't you wait for the next one? Yep. Okay, and I don't see any public comment on this agenda, so are there any non-action commission discussions? I don't believe so at this point, so we will move on with a motion to adjourn this meeting.
Move for adjournment?
Look for a second from, have a second. Roll call vote.
Benega.
Aye.
Bender. Persky. Heiberger.
Aye. Motion passes unanimously. We are adjourned for the canvassing. We will be having a regular commission meeting. Do we need time in between? Within the next 5 minutes, we'll start.